Good day and welcome to this grow along video where we're going to be sowing Brussels sprouts and spring onions. Because I only want about 6 to 8 Brussels sprout plants, and because we're going to be doing successional sowings of spring onions as we go through our growing season, I'm going to be sowing both sets of seeds into this seed tray. It's a half-size seed tray, and we'll be splitting it in two as you've seen us do before, and one side will be spring onions and the other side will be the Groninger Brussels sprouts. Now, Groninger Brussels sprouts have done well for us over a good many years. The seeds that we've got here are old seeds that we were given by Vivi a year or so ago. We've still got some left. Because I only want 6 to 8 plants, I'm going to sow them relatively thinly, and any that germinate over and above what I need, I will actually pot on and give those away. The spring onions, depending on how they germinate, I'm just going to cut them up into blocks like we are planning to do for the corn salad, coriander and parsley we sowed in January, and then potting those on, or planting those out actually, into the ground as if they were modules. So we'll be, if I can explain myself, half of this will be spring onions, and when they germinate, depending upon how many do, we'll just be cutting this into 6, this half into 6, and planting that out onto our allotment to grow on. So first of all, as usual, let me show you the seeds. These are the spring onion seeds, which as you can see are quite dark and angular. And our Brussels sprout Groninger seeds, quite round and clearly a brassica seed. There's our seed tray and our multi-purpose compost. First thing we're going to do, fill up the seed tray. These are going to be planted about a centimetre deep, both sets of seed. Tap it down with your fingers, and then again I'm using another seed tray to just tamp it down. Sprinkling on the spring onion seeds. And putting our separator, which has got its name on it. Now the Groninger, again quite thinly. I'd like about 6 plants, so I'm going to plant, or sow rather, about 12 seeds. Then if all 12 come up, then I can share them. It's going to tap down with my fingers again, make sure that those seeds are in contact with the compost. They're obviously sitting on top, but tapping them down, make sure that they're in good contact. And then again, as we said, about a centimetre compost on top. Itself tap down to make sure that the top of those seeds is well in contact with the soil. Do that if you want to. Put my marker back in so I know that those are spring onions and these are the Brussels sprouts. And now good water. These again will be kept in our polytunnel, which is where we sow most of our seeds, and they don't need any further heat or a propagator lid on top. They don't need that to germinate. That's our sowing of Brussels sprouts done for the year, hopefully. Obviously, if these don't germinate well, we have time to resow. The spring onions, that's the first sowing of a succession of sowings. So we're going to be doing successional sowings of spring onions. And what we're going to be doing with the Groninger Brussels sprouts is we will be pricking those out and potting them on into their own pots. What we'll be doing with the spring onions is the same as we are planning to do with the coriander, corn salad and the parsley that we sowed in January, where we will be, if you imagine they're going to be sown here, and we'll be cutting this into 6 and planting any seedlings in those 6 pockets out onto the allotment site to grow on. So the Groninger Brussels sprouts will be pricked out and the spring onions will be separated into smaller blocks and planted out. Now I'm just going to make sure that the compost remains moist. As I've said before, you don't want the compost to get too wet because the seeds could rot away. And also, it seems to me as though we don't have any mice visiting the polytunnel at the moment. I'm not sure whether it's because we've got a good population of foxes around us at the moment or not, but I did leave some seeds open the other day, some sown seeds open, and they haven't been got by mice, and neither has anything else in here. So maybe those mice have moved on, or maybe they've been moved on in a different way, if you see what I mean. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. We'll pick up on these in maybe 6 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks time. We'll see how they're doing. Obviously, we'll be picking up on these in our monthly allotment tour, and we'll also be picking up these occasionally in a week at the plot. So do make sure that you've got notifications for videos in those playlists too. Okay, I hope that's been helpful. If you've got any questions, please do put them in the comments below. And I will see you relatively soon for another Grow Along video, maybe the second week of March. See you then, and happy sowing. Bye.